Hey, happy Tuesday. It's so close to Halloween and I'm so excited because we get to dress up. What are you going to dress up as? Nothing inappropriate at school, right? Okay. Well, today is October the 27th. It is Tuesday and we are going to look at our calendar marker for today. Any predictions? What's it going to look like? Probably some money, right? Let's see. Oh my gosh, we got a whole dollar. Wow. Well, let's add that to our observation recording sheet. This is going to be really easy because we know that it is a dollar. So we don't even have to relate it to money because it is indeed money. But how do I write this as a fraction? Good. 100 cents out of the 100 cents it takes to make up a dollar. Or I could say 10 dimes out of the 10 dimes it takes to make up a dollar. Or I could say 4 out of the 4 quarters it takes to make up a dollar. Or even 2 out of the 2 half dollars, because we did see a half dollar this month, that it would take to make up a dollar. And we could go on and on and on because all these fractions are equivalent to 1 whole. You got it. So I write that as a decimal, just 1. 1 decimal 0. That's all it is. So I wonder what the rest of the month is going to look like because we normally have a pattern where we have the same amount, the same value over and over and over for at least 3 to 4 days before we increase in our value. So it was 10, 10, a tenth, 20, 20, a fifth, which is equal to 20 cents. And then we had 2 tenths, which is 20 cents. And then we had 25. And so you see the pattern. So now we're starting with a dollar. I wonder where the end of the month is going to end up. What might that calendar marker look like? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Today, we are going to work on a worksheet talking about large numbers, and we are going to play Race to the Millions. So let's actually do that first, and then we're going to talk about this workbook page. Okay, so here we go. Race to the Millions. It is your turn today because yesterday, remember, we took 2 turns just to make sure we can get it all in before the end of the month. And right now, Miss Trammell is winning. I have some questions about how much I'm winning by, what might you need to spend in order to catch up. We'll talk about that, but let's spin first. You got a 2. Where are you going to put your 2? Not many options. In the hundreds place, yeah, because that's the only option that you guys have. This is your last turn for the month. So 2 in the hundreds place gives me what? 200. So if I add 200 to the 320 I already have, really, how do we say this whole number again? 1,652,320 plus 200 is going to give me 1,652,000. That's not changing. I'm just changing the amount of hundreds that I have in my hundreds place. Okay? 520. That is your score for the game. I wonder what difference it might have made if we put these smaller digits like 4 and 2 and another 2 into the smaller place values so that we could have placed maybe 4s in the 10,000s. I wonder how the game would have changed. Guess we'll never know. All right, so we have a workbook page today, and it is on page 18 of your Number Corner workbook. So if you want to go ahead and get that out and open up to page 18, and while you do that, I want to remind you about the 3 forms that you can use to write a number. And we did this the other day. You may remember. We wrote it in standard form, where we're just writing the digits, the numbers, standard form. And then we could write it in expanded form, where we're showing the value of each digit. So in this number, you see expanded form. That's 100 million, 20 million, plus 3 million, plus 400,000, plus 50,000, plus 6,000, plus 700, plus 80, plus 9. And last but not least is word form. Okay, and you can write it in words. So with that being said, we are going to work on some more problems with large numbers. If you have any questions about the 3 forms of writing a number, then I encourage you to pause this video and maybe rewind it, listen to it again. Or if you're able to, you can chat with your teacher about the 3 forms of writing a number. But if you're ready to move on, then let's go. And as we go, what mistakes might people make as they're trying to write numbers in these forms? All right, so as we move forward, let's think about some mistakes that people may make as they are reading and writing numbers in one of the 3 forms that we just discussed. Right, yeah, so I think some mistakes are when you have numbers that have zeros in one of the place values. Sometimes people forget that digit, especially if it's in word form and you don't see it. And so you really have to think about what's being asked of you so that you can represent the number the correct way. So I'm going to give you guys some time to work on this page independently. And we will talk about it in just a second. So pause this video and I'll be right back. All right, guys, if you're back, you can check your work. Maybe you thought about some other ways or other mistakes that people may make and ways to help correct those mistakes. One thing I thought about while looking at this workbook page is when they ask you to write a number in expanded form, it may help to actually write the number out like you would see it in standard form before you write it in expanded form to make sure that you've written the number correctly. So you've read it correctly, you've written it correctly, and now you can expand it. So here's the number, 2,356,189. Here's my expanded form up, and Ms. Trammell made a mistake. So let me fix that. That's 2,300,000, 50,000, 6,189. Here's the number form of 5,208,000. 208. There's that zero we were talking about earlier that could throw you off. You got to make sure you have 3 digits in each of those families. Okay, that's what separates. That's how you know where the comma goes. 672. 5,208,672. So there's that number. We just expanded. We don't have any 10,000s. Okay. Here's this number written in numeral form, just standard form, and then the word form here of the same number. We good? All right. So now I have some questions. Let's now look back at our race to the millions. Here's the first one. Ready? How much does the team with a smaller number, so you guys, how much would you guys need in order to have more than me? And we can just throw out some estimates here. It doesn't have to be an exact number. Maybe think in terms of rounding. Did somebody say 200,000? Yeah, so you need 200,000 to have more than me, because that means you'd have 1,852,520. Good. So we could have a little less than 200,000, but not too much less. So you at least need about 200,000. All right, there's only one place value choice remaining for Miss Trammell. With this remaining, is it possible for, well, I only have one more turn, so is it possible for you guys to win this game? No, because I'm not subtracting anything from my total. I'm only going to be adding more regardless of what place value is left, which I will show you is, for me, is the thousands. I'm still going to win because this number is already bigger than your total, your final number. Okay? All right. So let's just go ahead and, Miss Trammell's just going to go ahead and roll for her final number. I got an 8. We just said I'm going to put it in the thousands because that's what I have left. And let's see what my total now is. Adding 8,000. All right. I know this is my turn, but I want you guys to figure out what my total is going to be since we're working on reading, writing large numbers. All right, did you get 1,824,420? All right, so which one's bigger? We already know this one, right? And we know that because our number in our 100,000s place is bigger than our number, or my number in the 100,000s place is bigger than your number in the 100,000s place. Oh, did Ms. Trammell write that inequality the right way? No, and she didn't write this inequality the right way either. Shame on her. This number is greater than, and so is this one, greater than. My apologies for that mistake. Okay, so if you're frustrated that I won, I'm sorry. I won, I'm so excited. But really, and honestly, when we spun the spinner, it was by chance. The numbers that we got when we spun, it was dependent on chance. So you guys had no control over what digits I got, what digits you got. And you saw me spin, so there's no way that I cheated. Now, at the beginning of the game, we didn't really talk strategy, so we didn't really think through where we should have put some of those smaller digits. Like, I just wanted to beat you guys for that first spin that I had, and so I put a 3 in the 10,000s place. Looking back on it, I could have had a much bigger number had I started off with the tens place. But who wants to start small, right? So there was some strategy, and we did talk about the strategy as we played the game, but a lot of it was by chance. It depended upon the number you got when we spun. Okay, so now look at our totals, and I would like for you to round it to the nearest 100,000. Round your total to the nearest 100,000. What will you get? Right. So nearest 100,000 would be 1,700,000. That's rounded to the nearest 100,000. How about round your number, and I'm going to round my number to the nearest 100,000 as well. How about round your number to the nearest 10,000? What would you get? 1,650,000. That's the nearest 10,000. Here's the nearest 1,000. I'm going to round my number to the nearest 100,000, which is 1,800,000. And to the nearest 10,000 would be 1,820,000. So would the outcome of the game have been any different had we used the rounded values instead of the actual numbers? Not in this case, right? Because my number still rounds higher than your numbers. But it could have had an effect depending upon where we placed our digits and what our overall or our final total was. So good game this month. Guess we'll have to see what game we'll play or what we'll be collecting for November. I will see you guys tomorrow for our last official day of Number Corner, where we will talk about the calendar grid. We'll do some other activities, and that'll be it until November. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.